Hey everybody, today I'm going to be showing some snakebite lineups for post plant positions and orb lineups to help either take sites or land on the spike after plant. This won't be as structured as my Brim video because for Brim I just did 3 mollies for every site except for Fracture. Here I'm going to have some lineups for Fracture, but not very many post-plant lineups.
No one can hold their breath forever.
Before we get started here, I just want to say that these are lineups that I've made on my own. And there are probably easier lineups or maybe like more convenient lineups. But this is just after a few hours on the maps on my own and custom. Starting off with Ascent here, we're gonna have a smoke for A Heaven for your A execute. So you're gonna want to get on this bike and then jump on this box. You're gonna want to wedge yourself in this little corner between this box and this barrel. You're gonna be looking at this V. You're gonna go about midway up the left side. You can be touching it, or you can be just about anywhere in here. This orb is pretty forgiving. And throw.
Poison orb emitting. Poison's off.
Alright, starting off with our mollies. We're gonna do a default position molly
Here.
in front of Jen. You're gonna walk along this line or line yourself with the middle of this wall panel. You're gonna be looking at this point right here. You're gonna be looking at the charge bar for your wall, and we're gonna put the 3rd charge line right on that point and shoot. Alright, a second molly from the same position. A trend I'm gonna be having with these mollies is that it'll be from the same spot. I have other mollies, but I'm trying to make it easier to where you don't have to move around so much. So from the same spot, you're going to be looking at this point this time. You're going to be looking at the charge bar, and you're going to place the 2nd charge line at that point and shoot. This will be for your dice plant. Alright, moving on to the B site here on Ascent. You're going to stand in the middle of this window somewhere. You're going to be looking at this little lamp. This is going to be an orb lineup for CT. You're going to place your orb icon right on top of it and jump throw.
Poison orb emitting.
Alright, now snake bites for your default position. You're going to want to wedge yourself in this corner. You're going to be looking at this little square right here. You're going to be looking at the line in between your orb and your wall. Place it on the bottom and shoot. From the same position, you're going to be looking at the same square, but you're going to be looking at the line in between your wall and your ulti this time. Place it there and shoot. This will be for your corner plant. have 3 other default lineups that I can show you. One from B main right here. If you are lurking from A and they've already crossed the site, then this one can be played. You're gonna be looking at this rectangle that is made with this window, and then you're gonna go about 1/3 the way up and shoot. A line up from the pizza position, should you be lurking. You're gonna be looking at this point of the building right here. And you're gonna place the tip of the orb icon on that corner and shoot. Lastly, from CT, you're gonna walk along this line or just look at this part of the wall and just walk into it. You're gonna be looking at this little AC unit box thing. You're gonna place your crosshair on top and shoot. I'm gonna start with an orb lineup for truck for your A execute. You want to come short, wedge yourself in this corner. You're going to look at this big area of blue here. You're going to put your crosshair in between this leaf and this left side. You can say about midway up this. And throw your orb.
Poison orb emitting.
This will land truck, covering off heaven and the left side of triple. Alright, if you're playing the shower position and your team has planted default truck, you can stand in this corner. You're going to be looking at the smaller satellite. You're going to be looking at this point and in between the satellite. You're going to want to place your ulti icon right in the middle of that and shoot. From the same position, a molly for your triple plant.
Here.
You're going to want to look at the bigger satellite. You're going to be looking at the tip of this, and you're going to place the line in between your orb and your wall, right on top of that, and shoot. Alright, moving over here to the short position. Molly from this elevated position here. You're going to be looking at this leaf. You're going to go and put that on top of your charge bar at about 1.5 charges and shoot. Moving over to the B site. For your B default,
Here.
if you were lurking A and your team has it planted, you can put yourself in this corner. You're going to be looking at this little can. This is for an orb lineup, and you're going to be looking at the line in between your wall and your ulti. You're going to place it on that and throw.
Poison orb emitting. Poison's off.
From the same position, looking at this little point here. You're gonna place the line of your HP bar right on that point. Move down some and shoot. For lineups from long, you're gonna walk down long and you're gonna put yourself in this corner of the fountain. You're gonna be looking at these little bumps here. You're gonna look at the bottom point, and then you're gonna place the target of the mouse icon right on that bottom point for your default position. From the same spot for the opposite side of default,
There.
you're just gonna bring your target over from here, bring it to the right until it touches this bar. And shoot. Moving on to breeze. Molly for
Here.
this default position. You're gonna want to wedge yourself in these rocks. You're gonna look up at this greenery. There's gonna be 2 points that kind of look the same or protrude out more. Then you're gonna look for the spot in the middle. So this leaf right here. Place your crosshair there and shoot. If for some reason it's planted on the other side
There.
of pyramid right there, and you are playing from halls, you can put yourself in this little corner. You're gonna be looking up and moving forward until this little box right here is open. You're gonna place your crosshair right above this, I guess, corner so that you don't touch it, and shoot. Next up, another molly for the default position. You're gonna place yourself in this corner. You're gonna be looking at this little corner right here. You're gonna place the target of your snakebite HUD right on that corner and shoot. Moving over to the beast site here, a snakebite for your defaults here. You're gonna look for this plank. You're gonna put yourself in the middle somewhere. You're gonna be looking at this corner between these rocks or these bricks. You're gonna put the middle of the charge bar right at that point and shoot. Next one will be for this block plant from the same position. looking at the same corner. You're gonna put the tip of your Viper Orb on that corner and shoot. Alright, for Fracture here, this is one of the lineups that this is one of the maps that I struggle to find lineups with, just because of all the roofings and post plants are generally more on site on this map. So an orb for your A execute. If your team is going A main, you can put yourself in this corner. You're gonna be looking at this little square. You're gonna be looking at the line next to it. You're gonna place your crosshair on the bottom of that and jump throw. So land
Poison orb
drop
emitting.
for your A execute.
Poison's off.
Another orb for Link. You're gonna place yourself about here, looking at this line. The starting wall at the start of the round should be somewhere around here as well. So you're gonna be looking at this line right here. You're gonna place the tip of your HP HUD line, the left side tip, on that little point and jump throw.
Poison orb
And
emitting.
finally, for your execute. Another orb over here at the A site. If you're playing retake, you can place yourself in the middle of this section, in the middle of the poster and the side of the wall, or the edge. You're gonna be looking at this little rectangle right here, and put your crosshair in the middle and jump throw.
Poison orb emitting.
This will bounce off the ceiling and land drop for your retake. Alright, a one way you can play for A main here, if you're defending, you can put yourself in this corner before the round starts.
Isolate and exterminate.
You're going to be looking for this little dent notch thing in the ceiling. You're gonna bring your crosshair over until it reaches this ledge. Put it kind of in the middle and throw your orb. It'll land on that corner so you can activate it
Poison orb
while you're
emitting.
defending side. And the reason why it
Poison's
needs
off.
to land on this corner is that you can still pick it up later in the round. For example, if it was to land like too deep, there's no way to get it. If you're going for an A take and you want to smoke off the rope position over there, you can line yourself up with this line. You'll be looking at this little rectangle right here. Put your crosshair in the middle and throw.
Poison orb emitting.
Alright, for your default position from sand, you're gonna want to put yourself in this corner next to the door. You're gonna be looking at this point right here. You're gonna look at your snake bite icon, and you're gonna put it right on top of that. the same position, but for this little upper plant, put yourself back in the corner. You're gonna want to look at this little point right here. You're gonna look at your charge bar, and you're gonna place the one charge line right at that point. And shoot. It'll clip the edge and spread over as well. Alright, over here at the B site, final lineup for Fracture. This is going to be for your tower, for your B take. You're going to want to get up on these boxes here. Line up with this. You're going to be looking at this vine. There's going to be a point where it protrudes more. And you're going to place the tip of your HP HUD line right on that point and throw.
Poison orb emitting. Poison's off.
Starting off on Haven here. You're going to stand on top of this wheelbarrow. This is for your A heaven. You're going to want to place your crosshair below this this light bulb, but above this line. So anywhere in the middle here.
Poison orb emitting.
And then
Poison's
you're
off.
going to want to jump throw.
Poison orb emitting. Poison's off.
Another orb from long here. You want to get on top of the sandbags and then on top of these bricks. You're going to want to place your crosshair in the middle or in between this wood and this light bulb and throw. So land here.
Poison orb
CT
emitting.
cover. Alright, for your plants, standing next to these sandbags here in this corner, you're going to want to look at the line in between your orb and your wall. You're going to place it right in the middle here of this light bulb. And shoot. This is kind of the left side default. So for the right side default, you're going to want to look at the same light bulb, but you're going to look at your orb icon and place the tip right on the bottom of that light bulb and shoot. So for smoke that'll cover off the entrance to B main, or not B main but B, just stand in this corner. You're gonna look up until you see this little notch here and throw.
Poison orb emitting.
Alright, a snake bite from spawn to your front B plant.
Here.
You're gonna wanna get up here and stick yourself in this corner. You're gonna look at the bell. You're gonna come down until you see this notch. And shoot. An orb to cover off the CT position. You want to place yourself in the middle of this wall, or imagine a line coming down the middle of this frame, and then you're going to want to be right on that. You're going to be looking at this little box right here. You're going to place the snakebite icon right on top of that, and then jump throw.
Poison orb emitting.
Orb lineup for garage C, or the opening
Here.
out on C. You're gonna want to wedge yourself into the wall with the middle of this frame. You're gonna be looking at this leaf right here, and the upper right corner of the two mouse icon HUDs. You're gonna put that corner on that leaf. You're gonna move a little bit to the right and throw.
Poison orb emitting.
For our plants, we're gonna start off with a side plant right here for long. We're gonna come long. We're gonna put ourselves in this corner here. We're gonna be looking at this corner, this little point. We're going to look at the line in between our orb and our wall. We're gonna place it right on top to make a triangle and shoot. For your default plant, you're going to want to line yourself up with this frame. You're going to be looking at this little point right here, and the line in between your orb and the wall. Your orb and your wall. And then you're going to place it right on top of that to make a triangle and shoot. Lastly, for your backside plant behind double stack, you're going to want to stand in the same position as your default. And then you're going to be looking at this pole right here where it meets the roof, and the line in between your snake bite and your orb. You're going to place the left side of that line right at the point where the pole meets the roof and shoot. Right. An orb to cover off nest. You're going to want to back into this wall. And then you're going to move until this side of nest lines up with this side of this nest. And there you go. And then you're going to aim at this point here and throw.
Poison orb emitting.
Moving on to your snake bites, what you're going to want to do is come over here and back into this wall. And then you're going to want to move until this corner of sight is hidden by this rope. Just like that. You're going to be looking at this square right here. Imagine the square is cut into 4 even parts. So kind of like that. If you look at the bottom left corner, put your crosshair in the middle, it'll land default.
Here.
The safe default plant. And if you aim at the bottom right square, it'll be for the sage wall generator for each plant. Aim and shoot. Another 2 lineups back here from screens. You're going to want to put yourself in this corner. You're going to be looking at this cross section and this cross section. this one is for your safe default, and this one is for the sage wall generator fridge plant. Lastly, over here in spawn, you're gonna wedge yourself in between the stairs and this lamp. You're gonna be looking at the top of stairs right here, and you're gonna aim for the left side, maybe like a fifth or a fourth away, and shoot. Just for your default. Alright, for the orb for B, it's gonna land
Here.
upper tube for your B execute. You're gonna line yourself up with this caution symbol. And you're gonna be looking at the corner of this crate up here, this little point, and you're gonna be looking at your Viper wall bar and place it right on top of that point in the middle, and then you're gonna jump throw.
Poison orb emitting. Poison's off.
This next snake bite is for this little corner plant. This little aggressive plant if you're not going for your default. You're gonna line yourself up again with this caution sign. You're gonna be looking at this little corner of the machine. You're gonna be looking at the HUD for the charges of the snake bites. You're gonna place it right on that corner and shoot. Alright, next line up for the default plant over here. You're gonna want to line up with this middle line, and then you're gonna want to look at this corner of this black and yellow tape thing, and you want to put the line in between your wall and your ulti, touching that yellow corner, and shoot. If you guys have the spike planted for default B and you've taken an aggressive stance, you can put yourself in this corner. You're gonna be looking at this little notch right here and your wall bar. You're gonna place your wall bar right on it in the middle and shoot. Final lineup for Icebox here. You're gonna want to line up with this straight part of the K. You're gonna be looking at these two little handles, or I guess this whole shape right here, kind of like a hexagon shape. You're gonna want to put the charge bar right on top of it and move it until the third line is lining up with that line right there, and shoot. Alright, starting off here with an orb for mid vents.
Here.
You're gonna want to stand against these tires in the wall. You're gonna be looking for this car symbol. Place your crosshair right in the middle of it and jump throw.
Poison orb emitting.
Alright, moving on over here to the A site. We're going to start off with an orb. You're going to put yourself against this wall on top of here. You're going to be looking for the top railing. Put your crosshair right in the middle and move up until you hit this. Get right in the middle of it and throw. This will be your orb blocking off
Poison
heaven
orb emitting.
for your A execute. From the same position, you can look at this point right here of this building and jump through. So block off
Poison orb
C2
emitting.
for execute. Alright, to start off our snakebite lineups, you're going to want to wedge yourself in this corner right here. And you're going to be looking at this little corner right here, this point. And you're going to bring your Viper Orb icon to sit right on top of that corner and shoot. Alright, from the same position, this is going to be for your heaven plant right here. You're going to be looking at this corner of the building, and you're going to be looking at the line in between your orb and your wall. You're going to place the left side on that corner right there and shoot. From the same position for your back sign plant, you're going to want to look at this light right here. You're going to put your crosshair on the right side and bring it over just before it hits this lighting here. So bring it over and shoot. Alright, and our last snakebite lineup for A, we're going to put ourselves in this corner. This is for back sign as well.
Here.
You're going to want to look anywhere on the bottom of this K right here. Moving over here to the B site, starting with an orb to block off heaven. You're going to want to get on here. You're going to put yourself on this wall right at this line. You're going to be looking at this little sign right here, the bottom corner. And you're going to put the upper right corner of the wall, the charge bar for the wall, and put it right on that bottom right corner of the sign and throw.
Poison orb emitting.
A snake bite for your hell position or under rafters. You're gonna want to put yourself in this corner here. You're gonna be looking at this little rectangle of the building or of the roofing, and you're gonna want to put the target icon right in the middle of it and shoot. A lineup for your default position, should you have went aggressive on your take and you have CT, you line yourself with the middle of this wall. You're going to be looking at this little corner of the roofing right here, You're gonna put the line of your HP HUD right on that tip and shoot. Another lineup for your heaven or main plant. You want to go CT, put yourself in this corner right here. You're going to look at this pillar of the building, and at the point where it reaches this roofing, there, you're going to want to put the Viper Orb right at that point, or the tip of the Viper Orb right at that point, and bring it down until it hits that bar, the wall bar, and shoot. Well, that wraps up this video. There was actually a lot of lineups that I've taken out or left out because of how long this video is, but if you've watched it up until now, you a real one. I appreciate you, and I hope this helps to any of my Viper players. But until next time, peace.